Welcome back. It's live coverage of Germany against Argentina, a repeat of the World Cup final. The players are out. Let's join our match commentators, Owen Hargreaves, alongside Ian Dark.
Thank you very much indeed, Des. Just going through the formalities here. Hans-Dieter Flick, who is leaving as Jogi Löw's sidekick, the German coach, and will be replaced by Thomas Schneider, something of a surprise appointment. And they're also saying goodbye to those World Cup stars retiring, including Arsenal's Per Mertesacker, Philip Lahm, of course, the leader and captain and inspiration. They're going to miss him pretty badly, and leading scorer Miroslav Klose. So all that's being honoured in a sold-out Düsseldorf tonight. Change of era, isn't it?
Well, what a great way to go out. You think about winning the World Cup, coming here, having an international friendly against Argentina, and great celebration. You know, Miroslav Klose has had such a remarkable career. You know, to be sent off in this fashion is a dream.
The leading scorer all time in the World Club, Miroslav Klose, 16 goals, fantastic professional footballer. He says he's going to be finding it very hard to watch rather than play.
Für den Bundestrainer war dieser Mann in den vergangenen Jahren viel mehr als nur einer der weltbesten Defensivspieler. Verlängerter
Last but very
Vertrauter,
much not
ein
least,
Anführer, ein Vorbild,
Philip Lahm.
einer, an dem sich ein ganzes Team wieder aufrichten kann.
I think even one or two of the Argentinians were applauding him as well.
Well, he's one of my favorite teammates, probably one of the most unselfish teammates I've ever had. And such a great way for Philip to be able to win the World Cup, be the leader of this team, the Bayern Munich team, the Germany team.
Yeah, of course you played alongside him at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we were roommates, very good friends. He's you know, he's a great person, great player. He deserves every accolade.
It's too early to retire, I think, for him. He might regret it, you know, in a year's time.
Well, he's got a young family, maybe he wants to spend some time with his kids as well. It's a busy schedule with Bayern Munich. You know, you can't, it's a great way to go out on top, I think.
You wait till the Euros, I wonder. It's a lovely scene, and the celebrations of the World Cup win go on in Germany. 2 days ago, 45,000 fans turned up here just to watch the team training. That's about as many as watching England tonight against Norway.
Well, that's the difference between winning and losing. You know, I think this Germany side has had such great support, and they've been very close to winning tournaments. And this summer in Brazil, they really finally took that last hurdle with a great team performance, and the fans are behind them. You know, since the World Cup in 2006 in Germany, the fans have really supported this German team.
Maybe there's a lesson for England somewhere in that. How is it Germany every year can produce wonderful teams and England always seem to have an inferior side? That's a debate for another time. Maybe they revere their national side a little more. Looking at that, well, you can draw your own conclusions maybe. Argentina with a new coach tonight, Tata Martino.
Und nun, meine Damen und Herren, liebe Fans in Düsseldorf, singen wir gemeinsam die deutsche Nationalhymne.
So all set to go here. The World Cup final rematch. It is a prestige friendly. And here are the lineups. First of all, Germany starting life without their talisman Philipp Lahm and top scorer Miroslav Klose. A chance for the new wave tonight. Men like the Dortmund defenders Matthias Ginter, Kevin Grosskreutz and Érik Durm, and Schalke's Julian Draxler. Among those injured, Özil, Hummels and Boateng, but Mario Götze and Marco Reus, both out injured cruelly for the World Cup, are back here. As for Argentina, without Lionel Messi, but they do have 7 of the World Cup final team there. Manchester United's new signings, Angel Di Maria and Marcos Rojo, are in along with Tottenham's Erik Lamela, and the new Swansea defender, Federico Fernández, replaces the injured Ezekiel Garay. Higuain and Lavezzi also out injured. Björn Kuipers is the referee.
It's the blue is his, yellow is yours. Make your
Next
choice.
on the change.
Change.
Yeah.
You got the ball.
Okay.
Yes. Good luck, huh? Good luck.
Manuel Neuer won the toss and wants to change
First we
ends.
make you change. And then
He is
around,
the captain tonight, but only stand-in captain. Bastian Schweinsteiger will get the job as soon as he's fit again, when nobody knows when that's going to be. He's got a bit of a niggling knee injury, and that would be a little bit of a worry, but it's good to see him back. Marco Reus, and of course the coach remains the same. Yogi, smarter than the average coach. I think he proved that at the World Cup, didn't he?
Well, I think he's proved his credentials ever since he's taken over from Jürgen Klinsmann. You know, I just think they're such a great generation. Probably the best goalkeeper in the world, one of in Neuer right now. A great manager. I think about Schweinsteiger as a captain. They just have all the pieces of the puzzle, and to think they're going to bring Reus into the mix after missing him at the World Cup.
There will be a minute's silence before the kick-off in honour of Julio Grondona, the president of the Argentine FA since way back in 1979, who died at the end of July.
Wir halten Julio Humberto Grondona in ehrenvoll gedenken.
La Asociación de Fútbol Argentina y la Federación Alemana de Fútbol lamentan profundamente la muerte de Julio Humberto Grondona, presidente de la AFA durante varias décadas y que falleció el 30 de julio a la edad de 82 años. Además, Julio Humberto Grondona fue durante 26 años miembro del Comité Ejecutivo de la FIFA. Nosotros recordaremos a Julio Humberto Grondona con mucho cariño.
Well, a not particularly well-observed minute's silence, it has to be said, among a boisterous crowd here who are just waiting to see what happens. What can we expect here, do you think, 52 days on?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, it's a friendly, first one of the season. I think all the players' minds are focused on their clubs. It's always a funny time, this friendly, I used to think, but it's a great opportunity to test some of these younger players. You think about Ginter and Durm, an opportunity to play at this level.
Lionel Messi missing with a groin injury, and Gonzalo Higuain was injured for Napoli at the weekend, and the club announced this morning that he wouldn't be appearing here. For anyone who was on Mars, Germany won the World Cup final in extra time by a 0-0 scored brilliantly by Mario Götze, and Germany have now beaten Argentina in the last 3 World Cups.
Well, it's interesting, Martino. I remember reading from him today where he was saying they wanted to control possession. He said they're going to play a relatively high line, so it's going to be a little bit dangerous, which you can counter-attack against, especially this Germany side. You think about Reus and Schürrle.
Chance to see Marcos Rojo, whose debut for Manchester United is being delayed by work permit problems. That should all be sorted out by the time the Premier League gets going again on Saturday week. Marco Reus voted player of the weekend, wasn't he, in the Bundesliga after a goal-scoring performance for Borussia Dortmund. That was horrible the way he was injured for the World Cup with just a few days to go. Now here's Manchester City's Pablo Zabaleta raiding for Argentina, who say revenge is not part of their agenda tonight. They want to gauge the togetherness and spirit as they start a new cycle, and they don't have tournament football again until the Copa America next summer in Chile. Interesting to see this new look German defence tonight with 3 Borussia Dortmund defenders in there. Ginter, Grosskreutz and Érik. A young left back who seems to have overtaken Marcel Schmelzer in the German pecking order. Rojo playing it back to Biglia. Now here's Di Maria, seems to be being deployed on the left here by Argentina. Here he is. Sergio Agüero, furthest forward, had a disappointing World Cup, which was interrupted by injury, which seems to have been a big problem for him over the last year, one way and another, but he has got 2 in 3 for City at the start of this new season.
Well, he's a remarkable player, Sergio. I think Sergio Agüero against Ginter and Havertz is a massive mismatch. If they can get the ball into feet for Sergio, I think he could have a lot of joy today.
It's Fernández playing it back, just signed for £7 million by Swansea City from Napoli. No Garay at the back tonight for Argentina. He's out injured. The ball is given away in the middle of the pitch. Ginter, only 20, didn't have the happiest of occasions when it came to Anfield just before the start of the season, and Dortmund got hammered 4-0 by a rampant Liverpool.
Well, I saw him on his debut as well against Leverkusen. He gave away a goal within, I think, 10 seconds of his debut. He really struggled on the day, so it's a massive opportunity for Ginter. They say he's the kind of the future of the German centre-backs along with Hummels. Great opportunity to present himself, but he's still very young, very raw at this level.
Well, he went to the World Cup along with Durm and Grosskreutz, and none of them got a kick. Grosskreutz nearly did. He nearly came on in the final when Schweinsteiger was injured, but Schweinsteiger was having none of it. He was back out there within seconds. And let's say you got a shot there of Christoph Kramer, who controversially came back on the field, having been concussed in that World Cup final. Reignited the whole concussion debate, quite rightly too. Argentina did beat Germany in a friendly in Frankfurt a couple of years ago by 3-1. Biglia lays it back. Mascherano just showing himself, wanting the ball. Then it's played into Biglia. Here's Mascherano, who was brilliant during the World Cup, particularly in the final. Held everything together for Argentina, who surprisingly, looking at their lineup, you'd think they'd have been full of goals at the World Cup, and the defence might have been a bit of a problem. It was the other way round, wasn't it?
Well, they have so much attacking talent in the team. I think the biggest problem with Argentina is the balance. Can they find the balance between that? As you said, you would have thought scoring goals would be the easiest thing for them, but I just think they need to find the right balance to this team.
Against the players who are not out there, Per Mertesacker on the right, Bastian Schweinsteiger, who is the new captain. Now then, here's Durm. Good raid it down the left-hand side. It was Fernández who stopped it, but this young fullback is highly rated by Jurgen Klopp at Dortmund.
Well, I think he's very talented. As you said, he's definitely overtaken Schmelzer, and as you see from Lamela there, easily plays in behind him. He's going to have to he's going to have to stop that today.
Mario Gomez with defending to do. Headed back across the face of goal and out of harm's way in the end for the Argentinians. Lamela was back defending. Now here's Di Maria. Did he get there? No, Manuel Neuer very quickly off his line, but good positive play there from the new Manchester United man.
I don't think Sergio Agüero was very happy. I think he's definitely just expecting the pass to come through. In the end, Di Maria goes on his own, but he definitely should have played in Sergio Agüero, who would have been in a 1v1 situation.
Kramer playing it forward to Gomez. Chance here for the Germans, and Romero to the rescue. Well, Mario Gomez could have marked his return to the German side with a goal there quite easily.
Well, that's what Toni Kroos does so well. As soon as he gets the ball at his feet, Mario Gomez makes a terrific run. As you see, he's clearly onside in between Demichelis and Fernández. Takes a decent first touch, gets a little bit stuck under his feet. You'd expect Mario Gomez to score from there. In the end, it's a good save from Romero.
Here's the German corner. It's cleared by Rojo. Di Maria's pulled into space on this right-hand side, and Agüero has found him. It's a move made in Manchester, this one, and here's Di Maria. Couldn't keep his shot down, but two very good cameos from Di Maria in the last couple of minutes.
I think that's the thing you see from Di Maria, Agüero. If they get space against this inexperienced German back four, they're going to have a ton of joy. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. There's been far too much space so far. We're only 7 minutes in. They've already had two decent opportunities.
Well, you might remember the World Cup final started with Argentina looking very bright for the first 20 minutes. Higuain missed a wonderful opportunity after a terrible header back by Toni Kroos, and they also had the ball in the net and it was disallowed for offside, quite rightly. Slowly Germany seemed to take control and got their reward in extra time. Here's Quinta. Just thinking Toni Kroos, now with Real Madrid, of course, must almost feel like the old man in this side there in that midfield. Now it's a bit of a different looking side tonight.
Well, that's the one thing. I just don't think they're going to struggle to replace. You think about Schweinsteiger, Lam at right back. Who's going to replace Lam at right back there? Such terrific players, and you can't replace them with just anybody. I think this German back four, as it is, would struggle to win a World Cup.
Grosskreutz helping it forward. He gets the right back position tonight anyway, because there are players to come back in and they can reshuffle. Carries on with an overlapping run. That's gone out of play that time, though. Will be a corner. Dortmund, born and bred. Kevin Grosskreutz, he's been in one or two scrapes off the pitch in his time, but he's very much in this German squad for the moment. Romero might have caught that, but elected to punch.
You don't often see that given from the linesman, but he's just flagged the ball, it's gone out of play, and not a great set piece from Royce, but that's probably one of his greatest attributes, his set piece taken as well, along with his counter-attacking, his goal scoring. And here again you see the ball from Kramer into Mario Gomez, and normally when he gets in these situations with his goal scoring record, but hits it right at Romero and it's an easy save.
He did have an injury ravaged time last year with Fiorentina. Among his new teammates there, Manchester City, well, ex-Manchester City now, Micah Richards. So again, it was Di Maria. He's had less than 90 minutes of action so far this season. One game as a sub for Real Madrid and 70 minutes for Manchester United at the weekend.
Well, we've only played 10 minutes. He's already popped up in 3 different positions, so he obviously has a free role attacking-wise to try and find space, and he's done that so far.
Across from Rojo, Fernández was in there. Here's Agüero on the turn. The block was made, and now the counter is on. He's just played a little foot too far behind Draxler. Just lost some of the momentum of the attack there. Groans from the big crowd here in Düsseldorf. Splendid arena, which replaced the Rheinstadion about a decade ago. Schürrle and Di Maria, Chelsea v Manchester United. Schürrle was very good at the World Cup, wasn't he? Got 3 goals, set up the winner in the final.
Well, he was quietly effective for Chelsea as well all season. I think a lot of people looked at where he was going to fit into this Chelsea side, but he played an important role coming off the bench and having a big impact on games, and I think he did that for Germany as well. He's such an effective squad player, and he's done a great job so far in his young career.
Zabaleta with the header back, and then Reus with a header for Germany. You can only guess what he must have been thinking watching the World Cup final, can't you?
Well, it's scary to think how good Germany could have been with Reus in the side. I think he walks into the starting 11 when he's healthy. You know, it's interesting to see him playing in that number 10 position, whereas for Dortmund he plays out on the left. Drexler's playing there today. We played 13 minutes and I don't think Drexler's had a kick.
Biglia is the player down injured here for Argentina. Caught by Reus. The defeat in the World Cup final was Argentina's first since last October. And Germany are unbeaten for some 15 months now. Ghana gave them a run for their money, mind you, in that 2-2 draw in Brazil. Scored 18 goals, top scorers in the competition, only let in 4. Argentina only got 8 goals in their 7 matches in Brazil. Surprising.
Well, as you said, if you're defensively good, I mean, all you need is one. They've got goal scorers on their side, but I think the biggest issue for these sides has been defensively. Can they be compact? Can you not concede a ton of goals? In tournament football, is very different from leagues and those competitions. You know, you don't want to concede goals. Most managers play very cautious, play not to lose to start, and then you hope to grow into the tournament.
Tata Martino, the new coach, says he doesn't want to change match. He liked what Sabella did with the side. Here is Schürrle. Corner is the decision. Draxler just having a word with his coach there. I don't know if he's picked up any kind of knock or not. There's Lucas Podolski on the bench tonight and waiting to win what would be his 117th cap. Might struggle to get into future German squads. They've got a few coming through. This is one of them. Draxler from Schalke. You can see the idea there. I think he's struggling, Drexler. I don't think we'll see him for much longer. I think he's probably going to go off. And it'll be interesting to see Podolski because he's got that reserve role for Germany. He's going to have that reserve role for Arsenal as well. You know, it might come a time when, you know, he calls time on his Germany career as well. Zabaleta was sold a bit short there, but made something of it anyway. It all got a little congested. Gomez's ball inside wasn't the best. As Germany keeps starting World Cups with 4-0 wins. They've done it every time since I can remember. Just lately it was Portugal who were the victims. Thomas Muller got a hat-trick. He isn't starting here, but is around. Demichelis knocking it forward.
I think Germany look content to play on the counter-attack, you know, let Argentina have a lot of possession and wait for mistakes just like that there.
And here comes the first card of the night, delivered by referee Björn Kuipers for Martín Demichelis.
Well, Demichelis is a very good passer with the ball out of the back, but he will take chances. You know, he will take chances coming out the back, and he can be very rash in the challenge. And as you can see, it's a yellow card. But I think they're comfortable to let Demichelis try and play out the back. And I think in central midfield, they have 3 central midfield players so far. They've controlled the tempo of the game, and Germany are looking to play on the counter-attack.
He's got a few critics, or certainly did last season, but I think he rather defied them with his performances in Brazil. It's part of a superb defence. Here's Biglia. Agüero is furthest forward. Pérez has to go backwards, and Romero wasn't expecting to do that and didn't do it very well at all. Argentina got themselves in a right old mix there. Draxler gets the crossing, is behind Gomez. Comes out to Toni Kroos. Of course, they've got a genuine number 9 out there, haven't they? In Gomez. He's wearing 23, but you know what I mean. That wasn't always the case in recent times.
Well, the thing with Gomez is he doesn't really want to link the play. He wants to put the ball in the back of the net and score a goal.
Must feel strange. Miroslav closer, Philipp Lahm there. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like from now on, boys. You'll be spectators. See, I still think Lahm might have a change of heart when the Euros get nearer, and I think they'd welcome him back, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would. I think you're right. I think when it comes to tournament time, there might be a way for him to come back on the side. But if you think about all the football you play at club level, traveling all the time, especially with a young family, he might just want to save himself some of that long distance travel in the early phases.
Neuer voted goalkeeper of the tournament, getting the Golden Glove at the World Cup finals. There are a few good goalkeeping performances, mind you, out there. Everton's Tim Howard wasn't so bad for the USA, among others. Schürrle, back to Kroos. Now Draxler. Durm. Draxler again. He does have work to do, Julian Draxler, I think, to convince his coach and maybe the fans too. He's got a yellow card, that he is the real deal, as you were saying, Owen.
Well, he's a remarkably talented young player, but I think he went through a phase the last season where he's really dipped off. Technically, he's very good. It's not often you see offensive players go into these tackles here. You don't mind that, obviously. Mascherano can cope with that. It's a clear foul, but technically he's a very good player, Draxler.
Here's Di Maria. Zabaleta. Oh, it's a lovely ball in, and Argentina. The flag. We looked over and wondered if it would go up, but Argentina are in front, and it was set up beautifully by Angel Di Maria. That's why he has the most assists in the top 5 leagues in Europe last season. You wondered if the offside flag was going to come up, but it didn't, and Argentina are ahead here.
Well, as you can see, it's clearly not offside. Such a great ball in from Di Maria with the outside of his left foot, and it's just a tap and no pressure on the ball from Germany. For Sergio Agüero from 5 yards out, that's a tap in. And you worry about the young centre-backs from Germany. Havertz is more experienced, but Ginter really struggled so far this season, and you know, they're just not marking Agüero in that area where they need to be tight.
So Argentina have done here pretty quickly what they couldn't do in 2 hours at the Maracanã in Rio. Sergio Agüero with the goal, set up wonderfully by Di Maria's cute ball.
Well, I was watching it initially and I thought he should have played in Zabaleta on the overlap run. He did it and play it to him. In the end, defender dropped off and he had plenty of time just to pick out a pass, an incredible pass with the outside of his left foot. Be interesting to see if he plays in that position for Manchester United as well. What he did for Real Madrid for so long, coming in off the right-hand side. I think it might suit him very well.
That's what you get for £59.7 million, Owen.
Well, he can probably pick his spot where he wants to play. I think if you cost 59 million, and Manchester United definitely need it right now, he could play in numerous positions and be effective.
Germany 0, Argentina 1. Rojo playing it forward and going on an overlapping run too. Forward by Demichelis. Oh, and he's made a mistake there. A bad mistake. Waiting in the middle is Gomez, who was in space. Oh, whipped just past the post by Toni Kroos, who's very good usually with his long-range shooting.
Well, it's just a dreadful individual mistake. It just comes up Demichelis' left foot. He accidentally kicks it ahead of him, and Royce in this situation does the right thing, is unselfish, picks out the pass. You think maybe Toni Kroos can play in Drexler, but he doesn't. Decides to take on the shot with his left foot, which he's very capable of, and in the end he just misses. But Romero has it covered, and Jogi Löw will be frustrated with the start so far.
Kroos has scored 2 in that mauling of Brazil. He got 2 in about 3 minutes in that match. Referee inadvertently getting in the way of the action there.
As you see in midfield, Argentina have an extra body, so they're able to get out and play in between Pérez, Biglia and Mascherano. They've got 3 central midfield. Germany only have Kroos and Kramer. And Kramer, I think, has really struggled so far in the opening 23 minutes.
Di Maria again looking towards Agüero, who's taken on Lionel Messi's number 10 shirt tonight, switching from his usual number 20 for Argentina and delivering a goal.
Well, I said earlier, if you think you can get the ball up to Sergio to play against Ginter and Havertz, it's a massive mismatch. Sergio, they just can't cope with his pace and power, his low center of gravity, and I think he can have a lot of joy tonight.
Mascherano back to a somewhat shaky Demichelis so far, it must be said. Now Fernández, Di Maria, who's been very bright so far. Pérez now, the Benfica player. Zabaleta, good stuff here. Agüero, Argentina looking bright and with plenty of belief. They might not have talked about revenge, but they're within sight of maybe getting that. And Neuer has to go down very well to deny Lamela. The Tottenham man looking to make a point tonight. It's only his 7th cap. He hasn't scored for his country yet.
But Germany are just all over the place. You see the outlet on the left is always free. Normally Shirley is great at tracking back, but they just have an extra body. You look at Royce and Gomez are playing almost as 2 strikers up top, which means there's an extra body in central midfield, and they need to address that, otherwise they're going to struggle.
Forward by Grosskreutz. Germany have lost in this arena before against Norway in 2001. They were beaten 1-0, but home defeats are pretty rare. Well, any defeats are pretty rare for Germany. But I think this has added a bit more spice to the game, that Argentina goal. Now Ginter. So this rather experimental German defence are up against some very handy, creative forward types for the Argentinians, and that's showing a little bit. It certainly showed on the goal. Di Maria looks in the mood, doesn't he?
Well, as you said, he's only played, what was it, 50 odd minutes this season so far, the 90 minutes or 70 minutes on the weekend against Burnley, but he looks sharp tonight. It's great for Manchester United to get in another game so that he's fit for this Premier League season, because, you know, as you said, he's had a massive impact on this game, and they're going to need him going forward.
Well, he's the last guy to panic. Something of a surprise when Jürgen Klinsmann appointed him as his assistant back in 2004, but as they say, look what's happened since.
I think I'd be a little bit concerned that Argentina are coming to the World Champions house, which is supposed to be a celebration. They're dominating possession. You know, they've made some mistakes at the back, Fernández and Demichelis, but still, Di Maria and Agüero have had a lot of joy. Zabaleta's been able to get in at times. Pérez and Mascherano have controlled that midfield so far, and they need to find a way to get higher up the pitch and press and force some mistakes.
Well, they've got 7 of their World Cup final starters out there, Argentina, and Di Maria, who didn't play in the Maracanã because he was injured, only strengthens that. Well, there's a mistake there by Biglia. Kramer. Schürrle's with him, Gomez is with him. Well, they've worked it in the end, and it's come to Gomez. He must score. Brilliant save, Romero with his feet. It seemed there that Gomez had to equalise.
Well, Kramer does so well. Incredible feet for such a big man. He looked a little bit slow and cumbersome, but he had such good feet to get out of the situation. How Gomez doesn't score, I'll never know.
Well, he's had 2 very presentable chances. Have to say that was a very good piece of goalkeeping by Sergio Romero. Now they've turned it up a notch, Germany, in response to that goal. Grosskreutz battling away well. Kramer again.
But Argentina have created their own mistakes. You think about the mistake from Biglia there, where Germany are pressing. Dreadful mistake. Demichelis had another one earlier. Can't afford to make mistakes in those areas. It can easily be a goal at any point.
That's Pérez with Kroos. Here's Christoph Kramer, who forced his way into the German squad pretty late on last season. Hovedez played left back all through the World Cup, centre back tonight with injuries. Draxler, misunderstanding really.
Schürrle needs to stay there to link that play. They need an option there where they can pass the ball into and bounce it back off. Schürrle runs away looking for him behind, but that wasn't the right option. Schürrle needs to be there to be a bit of a wall player.
Di Maria. Now Zabaleta. The thing with Di Maria is he's so very versatile. He can play in any number of positions. You saw him play pretty centrally for Real Madrid last season and for Manchester United at the weekend, but he can play as an authentic winger as well. Here's Lamela. It would be the ideal start, wouldn't it, for the new coach Martino, if he could come up with an away win against Germany. A lot of football left in this yet, but here's Di Maria again, taking on Durm, skipping past him and didn't get the right angle for his shot. He's disgusted with himself.
Well, Di Maria's having a field day with Durm on this side. He's just running in behind and getting the ball into feet, and Zabaleta as well.
That time Draxler lost it to Zabaleta. If they're not careful here, Germany, they could find themselves in deeper trouble, because Argentina do look a big threat here. Rojo. And Agüero. Ooh, he got some fizz on that, didn't he?
Well, he's probably one of the sharpest players I've ever played with. He's got such a low center of gravity. Here again we see it. The mistake from Biglia. Again, such a poor ball from Demichelis, really. Kramer, great feet. And again, you see another Cruyff here. Really good feet. Plays through the legs of Mascherano, and Royce does so well. Gomez, that's a tap, and he needs to score there. But as you said, it's a great save from Romero.
Great anguish on the German bench. Rojo just have been a little bit short of games with his delayed debut for Manchester United, and he virtually went on his own player strike to force the move from Sporting Lisbon just before that. Kroos. Kroos still being deployed in that central role, and that's been given away by Germany, who haven't been impressive here so far.
I think they really miss Schweinsteiger and how he dictates the tempo going forward. Kramer, besides that one moment, has struggled in this game, and Argentina dominating the midfield so far.
Draxler. Schürrle. Kramer helps it backwards. The crowd growing a little frustrated, you sense. They came here to have a party and welcome home their victorious World Cup winners. Ginter. Easily read by Zabaleta. Di Maria with a lovely release ball. Agüero needs a bit of support, or does he? Maybe not.
Well, I think Halbert is there when he realizes 1v1 with Sergio Agüero, realizes he's in trouble. I think if Sergio comes inside, he can probably chop and do what he wants with Halbert. But as you see here, Drexler's going to come off. Physically, he must be struggling.
I think he's got a knock, yeah, where you can see he seems to be just feeling the top of his hamstring. Or no, it's an impact injury. Bit like a dead leg or something like that. What do you think, Owen?
Looks like a hamstring, really. You never know. It could be a dead leg. Normally you can run a dead leg off. Could be a hamstring, but he looked like he recovered fine, and he was finding a way to get in the game. He was able to get the ball at feet, but he's gone off, and great opportunity for Podolski.
Podolski did come on as a substitute in Arsenal's 1-1 draw at Leicester City at the weekend. Érik inside here to Schürrle. So far, this somewhat experimental German side just finding Argentina a little hot to handle at times. Podolski has always come up with plenty of goals for his country, 47 of them so far. Schürrle, good feet from him. Just looking for the half yard of space he needed for the shot. There isn't half a yard of space. Good block. For a friendly early in the season, good game.
It has been a good game. I've been impressed with Argentina so far. I think Martino would be very happy. His 4-3-3 has worked very well. As we said, they've controlled the midfield, made some mistakes passing out of the back, but other than that, going forward, they look dangerous with Agüero and Di Maria especially.
Will be interesting to see how different the German team is against Scotland on Sunday as they start the European Championship qualifying. Rojo here now for Argentina. Agüero. Lamela. Impressive start to the season for Tottenham, who did get a bit of a reality check from Liverpool at the weekend. Agüero. I'm sure Gordon Strachan and his team are watching this somewhere at their training base and assessing. They've been an improving side in recent months as well, with some good away wins. Di Maria on the chase again, another mistake. Again, he tried something off the outside of the left foot again, as he did for the goal. It's Enzo Pérez. It'll be a German free kick.
You start to wonder about the space that Durham is allowing in behind. Every attack seems to be coming down his side, and it's great to go forward and attack, but the primary job of a left back is to defend, and I think he's really struggled with that today. Going forward, he's quite comfortable, but Di Maria has had so much joy in those positions. And you're thinking about Agüero running into the space that Durham has vacated at times. I think Jogi Löw would be concerned.
Christoph Kramer. Strong physical play. Royce is in here! Nearly got it back to Gomez.
I think Royce is the one player, along with Toni Kroos, who can, if they can get the ball into his feet, he'll find a way to unlock something. He's so unselfish in these situations. Even there, Royce is trying to play the ball across the shoulder when he probably could have tried and flick it over the goalkeeper, but Royce is the one, the X factor. If they can get the ball into his feet, allow him to create.
Scholler was kept in play just about by Kroos on that side. Better spell for the Germans here. Kroos was sold a little bit short. Here he is again. It will be a free kick. Kroos got a nasty shock at the weekend with his Real Madrid teammates, beaten 4-2 by Real Sociedad in a eye-catching result from Spain.
Well, it's a foul from Mascherano and then Pérez, but you think about Toni Kroos coming in, taking on that responsibility of Alonso. I think he's very capable, but you know, big shoes to fill. He was such an important player for Real Madrid, and
so can Germany bite back from this free kick? Romero's already made one big save to deny Mario Gomez. A couple, in fact. Kroos towards the back post. Scholler, good movement from him! And then couldn't finish it. In fact, he scared the corner flag half to death with his shot.
Well, it's a great ball in from Toni Kroos. I think they obviously mean this and looking to get it into Scholler. Poor defending from Rojo, and he just comes off his foot. I think he's trying to volley it into the top of the net. Just misses, and as you said, goes out for a throw-in, which is about as bad as it gets, really.
Fantastic free kick routine though, wasn't it? Didn't quite get the payoff. Zabaleta wide to the very lively Di Maria. I think Manchester United fans watching this, probably paying a little more attention to Di Maria than they might have done a couple of weeks ago, will be encouraged. Zabaleta, good ball. Di Maria's there again. Agüero's waiting in the middle, pulling into a bit of space. Come back instead to Lamela, who's planted it into the roof of the net. The Tottenham man with his first goal for Argentina, and what a strike!
Well, again, it's embarrassing, the space in behind in the left area. Durham again is completely out of position. Not sure if he's not getting the protection, but it's just so easy for them to play in and around these areas. As you see, you know, there's no protection there, and it's so easy. The left back needs to be in position. Ginter is out of position. Hovedes has to come across. It's a great ball from Di Maria, and that's a difficult finish from Lamela, and he puts it into the roof of the net. Great skill.
That is a fantastic goal. This cushion volley from Tottenham Hotspur's Érik Lamela. What about that?
Well, it's a terrific finish, but as you said, you talk about Di Maria, the second highest assist in Europe last season, or if not the most. I mean, it's such a great ball in. He set up the first goal as well, and the second one. I think he's done more in the 39 minutes than he did in the 70 at Burnley on the weekend. I think Man United fans watching will be very, very pleased.
Well, after the champagne of the World Cup, a bit of flat beer here for Germany. Scholler plays it inside. Royce onto Kramer. big miss by Mario Gomez, looking more expensive now. I think Argentina are rather enjoying this. Di Maria has run Germany ragged in the first half.
I think it's just been so easy to get into those positions and get possession comfortably. You know, as I said, Derma's been out of position. Halverdes and Ginter have struggled against Agüero. It's been so easy to get the ball into wide areas, and Argentina have controlled possession and been clinical in front of goal when they needed to be.
Yeah, well, nice symmetry about that as well. A goal every 20 minutes. Federico Fernández. Might be a good buy for Swansea. Here's Lamela again. Just a bit of a misunderstanding with him and Agüero on that occasion. Again, the Germans a little sloppy with their work in midfield. They did emerge with the ball, but Pablo Zabaleta is there again doing the covering for Argentina. Just thinking, Martino, when he started at Barcelona, went 16 unbeaten, didn't he? At the start, wasn't quite able to continue in that mould. Now then, don't forget the Premier League is back on Saturday week, and we have a wonderful game for you. Arsenal against Manchester City join the team from midday. It's all available on the BT Sport app as well. Could be Danny Welbeck's debut.
I think it's a great signing for Arsenal. I think it's been a great addition to them. I mean, such a great young striker.
Meanwhile, Lamela back to Biglia. Confident look about Argentina. Why wouldn't there be, with a 2-0 lead away to the world champions? The great Franz Beckenbauer was reminding everybody this week that sometimes you think you've got a wonderful team and then you get a big reality check. He was recalling how his 1990 champions were beaten famously in Wales by an Ian Rush goal a few months later. And England's 1966 team, well, every Scotland fan will remember that they were beaten 3-2 at Wembley by the Scots right after that.
Well, as I said at the start, you know, this German side would never win the World Cup, especially with that back four. You know, if you think about Hummel, Schweinsteiger and Lamb, the difference that they make in this side. Kadir would probably come back into the side as well. So they're missing a lot of experience and talent in crucial areas. And this Germany side so far looks very ordinary.
And it's audition night for a few of them, and they're in quite deep with this level of opposition. Podolski, Kroos, inch perfect ball as you'd expect from him. Royce not looking quite as effective in that number 10 role. Here he is on the ball as he is when he's played further to the left.
I think he's so effective when he can get into space.
Oh, look at Neuer here.
He looks as comfortable in possession as both of the centre-backs do as well, and lucky for them.
Kroos. The long-range shot was too hot to handle. Romero, and then Gomez again, who's not having a happy night, screws it horribly wide. Another big opportunity for him.
Well, as we said, Royce is terrific in space, gets the ball at his feet, great strike, and Romero makes a bit of a mess of it as it's dipping, but Gomez again needs to hit the target from there. That's his third terrific opportunity he's missed, and the fans are getting frustrated, whistling, getting on his back.
He almost had time to take a touch there, didn't he, Owen?
He did. You know, obviously come back from an injury. I think he's probably not at his sharpest. I think confidence is at his highest after missing two clear chances, and you know, that's where Argentina have been so effective. When they've got those opportunities in the box, they've taken them. That's been the big difference in the half so far.
Well, Argentina will be pretty intent on taking their 2-goal lead into half-time here, just looking for a bit of ball possession. They have been the better side, but Germany have had some big chances too, and they've nearly all fallen to Mario Gomez. That is half time, and a short, sharp shock for Germany. 2 down. The goals orchestrated by Angel Di Maria. The first taken by Manchester City's Sergio Agüero. Gomez missing chances, and a second goal. Wonderful finish from Tottenham's reborn Érik Lamela. Half-time score then in Düsseldorf is Germany, the world champions, 0, Argentina 2. Welcome back to Düsseldorf. Look back at what's happened so far in this World Cup final rematch between Germany and Argentina. Well, Germany with the first big chance. Mario Gomez forcing the save from Romero, but Owen Hargreaves, should he have done better than that?
What's the story of his first half? I mean, it's a great ball in from Kramer. And he does, you're right, Gomez has to do better. Hits it straight at Romero and so easy.
Di Maria, the Manchester United man, has caused havoc throughout. That wasn't his best contribution of the half. You'll see what those were in just a moment or two.
Well, he's been able to find this space time and time again. Zabaleta on the great overlap run. As you see there, Drexler just sits off Di Maria. It's a great ball with the outside of his left foot, and Ginter and Halverdev has struggled mightily in central midfield.
That is a peach of a ball, isn't it, from Di Maria? How many players would have even seen that?
I think he just takes what's there. You know, he's such a talented player. He takes what's there. As I said, Drexler sits off and he decides to take it with the outside of his foot, and it's so easy for him.
Well, a mistake by the Argentine defence, and Toni Kroos whistled a shot just wide.
I think Toni Kroos will be missing his partner in crime in Schweinsteiger, but here we see Kramer does well to press and win the ball back. Probably waits a little bit too long. Great Cruyff turn there. Waits. He's waiting for somebody to help him out. Great run from Royce. Squares it to Gomez, and again Gomez. Such an easy finish. If he just takes it with his right foot, he can slide it into the bottom corner, but in the end he takes his left foot and hits it straight at Romero.
Good save by the goalkeeper. Here's Di Maria again. He gave Erik Durm a nightmare on this side. This time he couldn't find the finish at the end of it.
They've been able to get the ball in wide areas so easily. And Agüero, they sit off Agüero. Ginter and Halverdev has struggled dramatically against Agüero and sits off, and he just takes the shot. And again, the space. You think about Durm out of position. Halverdev has to come across against Agüero. That's a massive mismatch in space. And again, Agüero just misses.
But there has been plenty of space with this experimental German defence. Lovely free kick routine, and Schürrle couldn't quite finish it off, but that's beautifully worked.
Well, it's just defensively, his ball from Rojo just misses the header. And again, we see getting down this left side. You think about Ginter is out of position, Durm's out of position, Di Maria with so much time. Terrific ball. Lamela just drops off by the penalty spot. And as you said, that is some finish, composed with the inside of his foot. He meant that and smashes it into the roof of the net, and as good as Neuer is, he can't do anything about that.
Tell you what, the Spurs fans are going to enjoy that one from Érik Lamela. His first goal for Argentina. Great goal. Germany definitely had their moments. Gomez, again with a very presentable opportunity, and fluffed his lines.
Well, Royce does so well. Great strike. Romero makes a bit of a mess of it. This is about the 44th minute, and Gomez, that's a gift for a striker of his quality. He should be smashing that into the back of the net, as Agüero and Lamela have done. And the fans got on his back towards the end of that.
More analysis coming up, and the whole of the second half. 2-0 to Argentina. Welcome back to our live coverage of Germany against Argentina, a rematch 52 days on from the World Cup final, only with a rather different scoreline here. Argentina winning 2-0 in Germany. with two very well worked goals. Second half here about to get underway. I think we might be about to see Thomas Müller coming on for Germany, who do have a competitive game coming up on Sunday in Dortmund against Scotland, the first of their European Championship qualifiers. Might be a rather different looking side there with Müller in. I think Özil will be fit for that game. Not sure about Boateng and Hummels. Goetze could come in. Not Sami Khedira, who is going to be out for about 6 weeks with a thigh muscle injury, we understand. So Manuel Neuer's coming off, and Roman Weidenfeller, the goalkeeper who was the oldest ever goalkeeping debutant for Germany when they won at Wembley last season against England. Yet another Dortmund player brought into the action.
I think Jogi Löw might have done Manuel Neuer a favour there. I think he realises game's a little bit out of their hands so far, and give Weidenfeller the opportunity to come in and get an opportunity to play. But Manuel Neuer obviously is the clear #1 choice.
6 substitutes allowed for each side. It can be an ever-changing chorus line in the second half of these friendlies, which can rather disrupt the rhythm, unfortunately. But it's been well worth watching a game between these two so far. I thought it was an absorbing game at the Maracanã that night, even though there were no goals in the 90 minutes. So what can Germany do about this? They certainly won't want to come home to a defeat.
Well, I think they need to improve in all aspects, especially in finishing in front of the goal. You think about Gomez with the 3 chances that he had, could have easily scored. I think Agüero in those positions would have scored.
Podolski chasing that one through. There's a lot of talk that Arsenal might be selling him before the Olivier Giroud injury, or at least loaning him out, but that hasn't happened. Augusto Fernández, right-sided player, has come on to replace Enzo Pérez in one of the changes made here by Argentina. We'll keep you up to date with these substitutions as best we can. Often plays pretty much as an authentic right winger, Augusto Fernández of Celta Vigo, the Spanish club. 10th cap for him. Biglia, the player brought down, started in the World Cup final, did a good job too.
Well, it's just a mistake from Grosskreutz, and Kramer giving the ball away. Biglia wins it back, and Kramer commits a foul. Again, Di Maria on the ball in a crucial position.
Di Maria swung into a great area, and 3-0 up. The first thing Weidenfeller is going to have to do is pick the ball out of the back of his net. Again, it was a Di Maria assist, and Jogi Löw cannot believe this. Right at the start of the second half.
Well, it's just a great ball in from Di Maria. Weidenfeller's not sure if he should come out. Probably should have came and caught it or punched it.
It's Fernández who got it, the new Swansea defender, Federico Fernández.
Fernández just at the back post. Good brave header in that position. Again, Ginter struggling defensively to cope. Fernández does well, gets his head on it. Might have injured himself as well, but such a dreadful start to the second half for Germany.
Well, he was a brave header too. He was in collision with the woodwork afterwards, but he gets his 3rd goal for his country. Well, I don't think anybody saw this kind of scoreline here tonight.
Well, defensively it looks so poor, Germany. There's so much space for Argentina to play into, and even that situation there was a mistake from Grosskreutz and Kramer that led to the free kick. And Di Maria has been sensational so far. That's his 3rd assist in this game. When they get the ball into these forward players, Argentina look dangerous.
I'm not sure whether these Scotland players and Gordon Strachan watching this in their camp will be encouraged or a bit worried they'll get the reaction from this on Sunday.
Well, as you said, there'll be changes to that side. You think about Götze and you think about Muller, Podolski potentially to come into the side. I don't think Gomez will start up front after such a poor showing in the first half. And as you said, this is a friendly game. With a qualifier coming up, I think Germany in competitive games will play very, very differently.
The World Cup win was their first trophy since 1996 when they won the European Championships in England, captained by Jürgen Klinsmann.
Some would say 96, not that long ago.
That's quite long ago now, Owen. It's 18 years, isn't it?
I think we've been waiting a bit longer than that.
Don't remind me. Well, it's a fantastic start this for Tata Martino, who did a very good job in his time in charge of Paraguay, got them to a World Cup quarter-final. Another really good move. It's Di Maria again with Agüero waiting in the middle, but Di Maria didn't need him. He scored himself. He's made 3, scored 1, and Argentina are running riot, 4-0 up.
But you could see that developing, even from the center of the pitch. Derm again getting caught out. Such a great 1-2. Di Maria sees the space in behind, and it's such a beautifully worked goal, and the finish is remarkable. You can see it develop from here. Zabaleta, great 1-2. Zabaleta plays the ball in behind. Again, Halverdes, Ginter doesn't get across. That is some finish from Di Maria. And Weidenfeller has barely touched the ball. And as you said, he's picked the ball out of the net twice. 3 assists, and that is some chip in that situation.
Well, that left foot of his is a magic wand on occasions.
Well, as you said before, how many players in the world would have seen where he played in with the outside of his foot? Not many players would have been capable of that finish in that situation after a 50-yard run. He's been frightening so far.
Well, imagine if he's setting up opportunities and doing this kind of thing with Falcao on the end of the chances. Maybe Van Persie and Rooney around as well.
They just got to find a team where they can accommodate all these star players, these attacking players. I think it's great when they're in possession and they have the ball, but how's it going to work defensively where people need to fill in cover? That's one thing Louis van Gaal is going to have to spend some time figuring out.
Getting the blend right. That's all for the future when the Premier League resumes. Here's Marco Reus, or really Germany. Schürrle couldn't score. It was blocked. Now he does. 4-1. It's Andre Schürrle of Chelsea this time.
Well, you can say you want, but Schürrle, he's probably not the most beautiful player to watch, but he's so effective. A bit like Thomas Muller in these areas. He always pops up in the box in the right place at the right time. Romero gets a hand on it, or a bit of a body on it in the end. Strange tackle from Biglia in the end. Looks like he can clear it, and Schürrle just gets there and taps it in with his toes, and Argentina just switched off for a second.
Schürrle's 17th international goal for Germany, and this is 40th cap. Got 3 at the World Cup, as we were saying earlier on. That's 4-1. Something for the Germans to bite at. Mascherano feeding it wide. It's another great run. And just about, Weidenfeller at the second attempt punches it clear. The first thing the sub-goalkeeper had to do was pick the ball out of the back of the net from that Fernández header. By the way, all 4 of the Argentina goals and the German one from players from the Premier League.
Well, you think about Di Maria, I mean, he probably didn't have as big impact in his debut at Burnley, but he's been frightening today. 3 assists in 1 goal, and again, he gets the ball at his feet, he just runs at Derm. Can't cope with him for a second. He almost scores another one.
Lamela, who's looked very comfortable, wasn't picked for the World Cup squad, but making a fair statement of his talents tonight. He does look a new player this year with his injury problems behind him. Di Maria on yet another run. Will he play the full 90? I think Germany will be hoping not.
I think this is where he's played a lot for Real Madrid, off that right-hand side, drifting in and be able to pick passes or have a shot from that right-hand side. I think he's very effective in that position. I think he was very effective in the central midfield area last season for Real Madrid. I think it could be a great addition to Manchester United, playing off that right-hand side, cutting inside.
Played wide by Mascherano, forward by Zabaleta. Björn doing the covering. Only his second cap. The Borussia Dortmund youngster playing at left back. And he'll be quite glad that he doesn't have to mark Di Maria every time.
Well, he's not going to want to remember this very fondly. Second cap, I mean, so difficult going up against the speed of Di Maria. I think he's caught him by surprise on numerous occasions, just be able to skip past him, and Di Maria, every time he sees Derm, he just runs straight at him because he knows he can't stop him.
I think the phrase is steep learning curve, isn't it?
Well, there's probably not many players you're going to play against like Di Maria, and as you see, Götze and Müller about to come on. They need goals on this side, and these two definitely have that in them.
Played back by Hovades, playing in his more usual central defensive role here, with both Hummels and Boateng out injured for this game.
They could probably do with a couple of centre-backs as well to come on, I think, the way these two have played.
Of course, all the German fans turning up for this game with these smart new shirts, which have 4 stars on, now denoting the 4 World Cup wins. That equals Italy, only Brazil ahead on 5.
Well, it's supposed to be a celebration, you know, and I think it was before kickoff, sending off 3 of their best players, and Mertesacker, Klose and Philipp Lahm. But as soon as this game started, Argentina controlled possession, as you see now, and been clinical in front of goal, and it's been one-way traffic virtually all game.
Into touch by Ginter. Agüero laid it inside. Biglia looked to feed it wide to Lamela, who was waiting in space on the left-hand side. That's better from Germany to Schürrle. I wonder who's going to come off. Will it be Mario Gomez? I wonder, with Müller playing furthest forward. We shall see.
I think there's every chance Gomez will come off. He's really struggled at 3 great chances.
Schürrle is one of those who will make way. And Mario Gomez is the other. So you'd think these 2 changes would almost certainly strengthen Germany. One Mario for another. Götze for Gomez. And Thomas Müller, who's got 10 goals in his 2 World Cups so far, comes on. He could be closest record down the line, couldn't he?
I think he must be the most effective football player I think I've ever seen. I mean, he's, as I said earlier, probably not the most beautiful to watch, but he's so effective in front of goal. He's so intelligent finding space.
He's picked up a little bit of a knock straight away. Kroos to Grosskreutz. Here is Müller. His movement is so intelligent, isn't it? I think that's the secret of why he comes up with so many international goals.
He is. I mean, as you see often, his first touch isn't great. You know, it bounces and it bubbles. But what he does, he affects the game without the ball. He runs into areas where he can impact the game. He's very intelligent in where the game is about to develop. I think he just has an instinct or a feel for a dangerous situation, and it's hard to compare him to anybody else in the world because I think he's just so effective at doing that. And I think a lot of other players, young players, want to get the ball and run at players like this, but Müller impacts the game, as you see, running off the ball there, trying to find a space where he can be effective.
Played in towards Podolski. Germany still believing that they could rescue this. They were in a game, of course, in qualifying for the World Cup where they led 4-0 and were pulled back to 4-4 by Sweden. And that was a bit of a sensation. Götze getting involved, and now Marco Reus. They've got the bigger battalions out there now. Reus again, it's all clever stuff so far. Do they get a penalty? No, they don't. Get up, says the referee. Podolski was the player who went down. Romero only half won it, and Reus's block-up shot was blocked by Zabaleta. Ginter won the header. Demichelis hacked it away. Müller got a toe to it, but then Rojo did well. I think you can tell the way Germany are going about this now, their pride and ego bruised.
Well, again, I mean, if Lamela plays a better ball, Di Maria is in again. You know, I think they're on the front foot now. As you see, Argentina are penned in. I think the changes of Müller and Götze will help to create some more chances. But, you know, they should be. I mean, they're the world champs on home soil in front of these fans. These fans will not be happy with being down 4-1. They just need to be careful they don't open up too much and Argentina hits them on the counter-attack again.
Zabaleta, no angle for that one. Here's Mario Götze. His name will forever be written in German football folklore, whatever happens in the rest of his career.
Well, it's probably it will be the biggest moment of his career. He's only still very young, very talented player. Probably hasn't hit the heights that people have anticipated of him so far. He's been so effective at Dortmund and basically been cut off the bench at Bayern Munich and for Germany. But to come on and have a moment like that in his young career is remarkable.
He was famously sent on, wasn't he, by Jogi Löw with the instruction, go out there and show the world what you can do. He did.
Well, and he's done that, and as we said, he'll probably never have a bigger moment in his career, but he's such a talented young player for Germany and for Bayern Munich, and he's still so young with such experience already.
Half an hour left. Yes, that scoreline, top of your picture, is right. Germany 1, Argentina 4. Kramer dispossessed by a whole lot of blue shirts pressing around him. Müller tries to help it on. Here's Di Maria again. Slalom run from him. He's had a fabulous game here tonight. Now Lamela, who hasn't been too shabby either.
Well, considering he's a left-footed player, Di Maria, you'd think he would want to play on the left side, but I think he, as you've shown today, he's been so effective coming in off that right-hand side, drifting inside. As you said again there with that slalom run, he's virtually unstoppable when he can come in, face up defenders and run at them.
Müller tries to thread it through into the path of Götze, but not that time between the two Bayern Munich players. Away by Demichelis. Time Di Maria's touch didn't quite find Biglia, and back come Germany again. Can they carve out something else? It's Marco Reus. Now then, what does the referee say this time? He says corner after Fernández's challenge.
Well, such a great tackle from Fernández. He gets his foot right on the ball. Royce in space on the counter-attack is so difficult to defend, but Fernández so far has done tremendous.
Fernández, who lost his place to Demichelis halfway through the World Cup. Royce to curl it in, and Romero makes it stick this time. Sampdoria goalkeeper. And he's just hurt something or other there. Looks like maybe a calf muscle. Unhappy landing by the look of it. Romero was on the short list for the Golden Glove at the World Cup, won by Neuer. You remember he made those saves from Vla and Schneider in the shootout against the Netherlands in the semi. Wide by Fernández. Germany do have the odd hiccups in friendlies. I mentioned that 1-0 loss they had here against Norway. I remember another one with them being beaten 5-3 by Switzerland on the way into the 2010 World Cup.
Well, as you said, they really struggled in friendlies.
Royce, too long for Thomas Müller, way too long.
But as we said at the start of the broadcast, this team would never win the World Cup set up as it did today with that back four. As I said, Ginter Halverdes is a massive mismatch against the top strikers in the world, like Agüero, and it's proven that today.
Just feeling that injury still. Romero, the goalkeeper. They do have a backup in Mariano Andújar of Napoli. Rojo gave the ball away there. Close, all too tight. Lamela. Could be something on here. Agüero. Di Maria. And Lamela was the player trying to get on the end of that one. They've looked dangerous almost every time they've attacked.
Well, he's probably been unselfish there, Di Maria. Probably could have gone into a 1v1 again with them and come inside and had a shot with his left foot, but being very unselfish that he is, tries to play in. Lamela. Agüero was on as well. Not his best ball tonight, but to think he's set up 3 and scored 1.
Couldn't quite play in Mario Götze. That's the goal scored by Federico Fernández, and this is the 4th by Di Maria.
Well, it's been the Angel Di Maria show virtually all night. I've rarely seen a better performance in a long time, individual performance. Argentina have been very good, but Di Maria has been outstanding, and I think defensively Germany have been so poor.
In time, Rojo gave the ball away. Can Germany make something of this? Götze tries to help it on. It's Royce, and it's wide.
I think you said earlier, Royce hasn't had the impact we've been accustomed to, and again in that situation, great little flick from Götze. If anything there, you probably would have expected a little dink or a chip over top of Romero. Romero's off his line, could have happened, but just scruffs it wide, and great day's work from Lamela.
Yeah, he'll have made a very good impression. Only called into the squad because Lionel Messi and a few others were injured. And he gets a warm look and handshake from the new coach. And on comes the defensive midfield player, Fernando Gargo, who did come on in the 85th minute in Rio 52 days ago. Free kick for that.
Too easy for Argentina to play out of those positions. You think about coming out of the back so easy, no pressure on the ball from Germany. Gago's going to come on and just try and dictate the tempo and in the center of the park, but cynical foul from Cruz, and Rojo has quietly had a good game himself.
Yellow card for Cruz. He gave the referee a bit of an old-fashioned look, as if to say, what, in a friendly? I think the answer was, yep.
I think it's a yellow card in any game.
Yeah. It's Augusto Fernández. Di Maria on the left-hand side this time. I think Real Madrid might miss him. Certainly the other players are going to miss him. He was a very popular player there. Agüero. To Di Maria again.
I'm not sure why he switched sides. He was so effective coming off the right-hand side. He's come to this left, and every time he's got it, he's gone backwards, or he's gone into the center of the park, whereas when he was on the right, he was coming inside, getting a cross or a shot.
Biglia, they find him again. And that might have been the first bad ball he played tonight. It still ended up with a blue shirt. And the referee might be reaching for a card again here. He is. To Podolski this time.
Well, it's a clear foul on Zabaleta. Follows right through. Great touch inside from Zabaleta. That's nasty, standing on his foot. I'm not sure he meant to stand on his foot, but he stands on his right foot, and that's painful. Obviously a clear yellow card.
So Rudy coming on here to replace Cruz. Sebastian Rudy. So he'll slip into the midfield. Only his second cap. And Zabaleta is still down. That was a pretty robust challenge from Podolski.
I'm not sure why they're working on his right quad. It's his right foot that's probably going to be pretty sore that he stood on.
Don't forget to stay with us after we're off the air tonight with this game. We've got Sports Hub update coming for you at 10 o'clock tonight with all the latest news. Big night of international friendlies being played, of course, all around the world. Here's the corner kick, which goes a long way. It took a brave header by Ginter to get that out of harm's way. Wasn't quite sure where that was ending up, the youngster.
Great ball in again, and that's where you need to be as your centre-backs, winning those headers. He hasn't done that today in the games I've seen him so far for Dortmund. As I said, he really struggled on his debut against Leverkusen. He's really struggled again tonight. Obviously a talented young player, but it's a big step up to play at this level.
He obviously likes him though, doesn't he? Because he picked him for the World Cup 23, so says something. Again, Di Maria with a ball into another area which had the German defence guessing.
I mean, you think about Argentina building this team around Lionel Messi, but if you look at the performance of Di Maria tonight, I mean, they've kind of built around him with Messi's absence, and he's looked as good as any player you've seen at this level.
Argentina in no mood to let this slip. They've been on the end of a couple of famous 4-goal beatings from Germany in World Cups.
I think if Argentina can sort the centre-back position out, they have so much talent all across the pitch, especially attacking-wise. They could compete with any side.
Wasn't a great ball in from Grosskreutz. think Jogi Löw getting a reminder here, as if he needed one, how much Germany will miss Philipp Lahm.
Well, Philipp Lahm, I mean, he was so effective as a left back, then as a right back. You think about Durm today, and only his second game for Germany, he's really struggled. You know, I don't think that's a solution going forward. You think about the right back position, Grosskreutz is a great squad player, but he's not a starter for a country like Germany. As I said, they would never win the World Cup with some of these players in this starting 11. The centre backs, Hummels and Boateng, will come back in, will form a great partnership, but the team set up today has really struggled.
Agüero dropping really deep to link up with his Manchester City teammate Pablo Zabaleta. Here's Kramer. Certainly had physicality in that central midfield area. Rudy helps it forward. And away comes Demichelis, booked on earlier on in the game, you might remember. Di Maria. 3, 4 of them around him. None of them could do anything about it. He has just been electric tonight.
Unbelievable. I mean, really, in a friendly, to put in this much effort after 75 minutes, to keep going, all the chances that he's created, all the effort that he's put into the game has been exceptional.
And I'm sure every Argentina fan watching will be thinking, how different might it have been in the Maracanã if he'd been fit and firing and ready to play.
Well, you can guarantee it would have been different. You think about the Real Madrid side, I think everybody's disappointed that he left Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody voiced their displeasure because he's had such an impact on all the teams that he's played on. You think about missing the World Cup final, he would have had a massive impact. He's been the best player on this pitch by some distance tonight.
Hovadez had a very good World Cup in that left back position, solid as a rock he was. I wonder if he'll be back there for the Scotland game at the weekend. It'll be depending on the reports from the physios on other players. Ginter playing it out wide. Goetze with the layoff. Oh, and off the inside of the post. It was a fabulous effort from Marco Reus.
Well, it's a great piece of play from Durm, getting forward into an attacking area where he is comfortable passing the ball. It's a great layoff from Goetze. Just tees it up for Reus, and normally in those areas, Reus hits the back of the net.
So Zabaleta, having taken that knock, is going to be replaced here by Hugo Campagnaro, who has been named in Inter's Europa League squad. Not everybody thought that he would be. Campagnaro, who will replace Zabaleta, made his debut for the country at the age of 32. Player has come through the Argentinian second and third divisions before his time in Italy. Nico Gaitan of Benfica, who scored at the weekend in the derby against Sporting Lisbon, is coming on to Rudiger's on there as well. The defender going for that header. Kramer dug out a decent looking cross there, well cleared by Campagnaro. Romero got something on it. Goetze back in, took a deflection, 4-2.
I'm not quite sure what Romero's doing. He doesn't catch anything. You know, there's so many opportunities where he can just catch the ball and make it so much easier on himself. We saw that at the World Cup. A lot of the goalkeepers not catching, preferring to punch. Really poor goalkeeping, but it's good play from Germany, and I'm not sure what Romero's doing there, but Goetze gets lucky with the deflection. I think it comes off Fernández.
Yeah. And that might actually go as an own goal, because I'm not sure Goetze's shot was going in.
No, that was definitely going wide, but you just think about Romero, you think about the mistakes that Argentina have made today. The ball come from him playing out the back, or that's a goalkeeping mistake in my opinion from Romero. Completely unnecessary. What's been offensively a remarkable evening.
12 minutes remaining. And the referee is just wanting to make sure that Romero is okay. He's been struggling for a while. I'm not quite sure they haven't made the goalkeeping switch, because he really has been in difficulties.
Well, it looks like he's got a cramp. I think it's more just an excuse because he made such a poor mistake there, and he's blaming on his calf, or he's tired, or what. He seemed to be fine for 20 minutes, and time for a change.
Yeah, they're going to bring on Andújar now for his 11th cap. Well, Germany will still believe they can pull this round. 4-2, just over 10 minutes left.
Well, they've been so poor, and you know, they're finding a way to get back in this game. Argentina still look very dangerous on the break, but you think about Romero, he hasn't played well tonight, made some mistakes. Allowed Germany to see if they can creep back into this game.
Well, he might have some important work to do in the time remaining, the sub-goalkeeper. Here's Rüdiger. Plays for Stuttgart and has been in impressive form. Youngster who was at Dortmund as a teenager and has played at all the age group teams for Germany, from under 18 through to 21. Just a second cap for Rüdiger in possession now. This is Rudi.
Rudi's looked good since he's come on. I think he's added a bit of control to the center of the park. He's looked comfortable with what he's had to do. I think Kramer, in my opinion, struggled tonight against such talented opposition, and Rüdiger normally plays as a right back, but is playing as a centre back tonight.
Biglia brings it away. Rüdiger's got a little bit of work to do here. His shirt was being tugged by Di Maria, who did get 4 red cards during his time at Real Madrid. That might surprise a few people, such a creative talent.
Well, that's a great touch from Rüdiger as well on the turn for a centre-back. Does very well. Obviously a clear foul from Di Maria. You don't mind some of these flair players having a bit of a aggressive side at times, as long as it doesn't cost the team. Red cards are never good.
Rojo might be in trouble for that one. Is it just a talk? It's just a talk. Must have been close to yellow. Kramer. Across to Rudi, who's looked quite a composed presence, as Owen was saying, since he's come on in that central midfield position, replacing Kroos, which is always a pretty big job, of course. I wonder if they can carve out a chance for Thomas Müller or Marco Reus in the time remaining. Pacey run, well covered. Rüdiger made sure Agüero went no further.
I think Rüdiger's done more defensively in 2 minutes than Havertz and Ginter. Again, another mistake from Ginter, who's really struggled this evening. Defensively he struggled, but I think one of the things he's best at is passing, and he puts it out of play there.
So another change about to be made here, and they are going to bring on Nicolas Gaitan of Benfica to replace Sergio Agüero, who scored the first goal tonight. Gaitan wearing Agüero's usual shirt number 20. Do you like him?
I think he's a very talented player. Some people thought he was going to switch to the Serie A. in the transfer window, but he's still at Benfica, and they got a very talented group of players. You think about Enzo, Pérez, who started the game in the first half, who looked very comfortable in the center of the park. There were rumours for him to leave as well. I mean, they have so many options in forward areas, Argentina. It's quite remarkable, really.
No Lavezzi tonight. He's out injured, although he is listed among the substitutes. We believe he's simply there on the list and will not play any part. And that is a fantastic save, in fact, from Romero. Just looking at that earlier effort from Royce, there might be something here as well as just earlier on. This is a replay you're watching of the goal, which I think probably should go down as an own goal. I don't think Gertz's shot was going in. Laid inside to Kramer, now Rudi. Grosskreutz. It's blocked by Rojo. Di Maria, the counter-attack is on here. It's Gaetan. Rudiger did pretty well there.
How quick is he for a centre-back? I mean, that's the great thing of having young legs in the side, and looks very comfortable defending on his own in big spaces. You'll probably see him play against Scotland even after this short cameo. I think Jogi Löw will be pleasantly surprised.
Germany, by the way, also played the Republic of Ireland in their European Championship qualifying group on the 14th of October in Gelsenkirchen. Well, Di Maria, no doubt about it, star of the show tonight. He's been wonderful. Involved in 3 of the goals and scoring another. He did score in Argentina's win in a friendly 2 years ago in Frankfurt as well. On comes Sunderland's new boy, Ricky Alvarez.
I think if we go back to Di Maria, even the German fans were applauding him off the pitch. They've probably rarely seen such a dominant individual performance for a long time. He was, as we said, head and shoulders the best player on the pitch.
Remember, this is Argentina without Lionel Messi tonight, who has a groin injury at the moment. 5 minutes remaining, 4-2 to Argentina, who were 2 up at the break, scored 2 more very quickly after half-time. Durm forward to Royce. He was rather needlessly fouled by Federico Fernández.
Well, as you said, can they find a way to get back in it? Royce's set piece has been so poor this evening, but normally from these situations he can be deadly, and if they can find a way to get a goal back, they could be back in this game.
Royce takes it with some pace, and it was difficult to defend. Germany think that should be a corner kick, claiming that Campagnaro got the last touch. Let's see.
That comes off Campagnaro. Great ball in from Royce.
Here is the corner kick. Gargo got it away. A nice bit of catching practice for Andújar, the substitute goalkeeper. Looks like being Germany's first defeat for 15 months. Götze plays it wide. It's all a bit tight over there. Royce, Podolski, Royce. Kramer inside. Lovely move this so far. Grosskreutz joining in the end. They just maybe overplayed it.
Well, as you said, it's such a great move from Germany from one side to the other. And that's the difference between Philipp Lahm in that position and Grosskreutz. Grosskreutz doesn't have the technical ability of the feet to take a good touch and put a cross in. That's where they're going to miss a player like Philipp Lahm even more so.
Here's the corner kick. Argentina want the good news going back to Buenos Aires of a revenge win over Germany. Not that it's truly revenge, this is a friendly. The other one was very much for all the marbles, wasn't it? Here's Muller. We haven't seen a lot of him since he came on. Not really. Goetze couldn't bring it down.
Well, Goetze has had a good impact on the game since he came on. I think Germany looked better since Mario Gomez has gone off. Good skill from Thomas Muller, trying to get back in the box. Poor touch from Goetze.
One more Germany goal would set up a bit of a finish in stoppage time, wouldn't it? Clever piece of play. Goetze tried to find Muller. Demichelis' challenge was excellent. Then Mascherano to Biglia. Keeping the ball well, Argentina. This is Gargo, who was really a bit of a bit part player in the end at the World Cup. Didn't start in the final. And they're doing a good job here, just taking the heat out of things by keeping the ball. Martino, the new coach, said the result didn't matter before the game. He might think it matters a little more afterwards.
I think even he was shocked when Di Maria came off. I think the way he embraced him, it was such a dominant performance individually from Di Maria. To have scored 4 goals in Germany. I know it's a friendly and I know they would have rather won the World Cup final, but it's a great start for any manager to go to the World Champions and win and score 4 goals.
Well, if you are calling that last goal an own goal from Fernández, it remains the case that all 6 goals have been scored by players from the Premier League. Grosskreutz lays it inside. Rudy lays it wide. Muller inside. Big shoes to fill at right back. That position very much up for grabs, I would suggest, in the German side.
Well, I don't think Grosskreutz can fill him. You think about Rudiger's come on, and in 10 minutes, it's been a very short little cameo, but he's looked terrific. He's looked quick. He's had a good touch when he's needed to. And I think he'll be one of the players that look forward to. But I think Ginter and Grosskreutz have struggled both tonight.
Augusto Fernández back to Gargo. Just happy to keep the ball in these triangles if they can, Argentina. It's definitely a feel-good win for them as they move into the next cycle. The next World Cup is in Russia in 4 years' time, although there is talk already of a possible boycott of that World Cup for the obvious political reasons which exist at the moment, involving the Ukraine question. Fernández to help it forward. Cut out by Podolski. No shortage of entertainment, but he might not have found it too much fun. Jogi Löw here, assessing a lot of the new breed, and not too many of them, you'd say, certainly according to Owen alongside me, have passed the audition.
Well, I think we talk about the depth of the Germany side, but as we said at the start, Germany would never win the World Cup with this team. I think, you know, they're lacking those key players. You think about Philipp Lahm and Schweinsteiger have a big impact on this side. Khedira to come back in the side, that's a big part of this team. Boateng and Hummels, you know, it's a great audition for some of these young players, but in all honesty, you know, they failed tonight against a very talented Argentina side, it has to be said.
Yeah. Could always draw too many conclusions from the results of friendlies. Nobody's probably going to remember this too much in the wider scheme of things down the road, but on the night, just one or two little pointers, maybe. Rudiger finds a good ball as well. He has made quite a good impression since he came on the pitch.
Well, I think there have been bright spots. As you said, Rudiger's been one for me, even though he's only played 10 minutes. He's played very well. Rudy has looked composed at the centre of that midfield. Hasn't made one mistake so far since he's come on for Toni Kroos. So there are positives, but I think defensively you've got to be concerned. Grosskreutz, Ginter, Halverdis, against the top sides of the world, you're going to struggle, and they have tonight.
And that is the final whistle. The rematch has a different result entirely. A 4-2 win for Tata Martino in his first game in charge of Argentina. Fully deserved as well against a somewhat experimental German side who did come back with a couple of goals when it looked like they were really going to have their noses rubbed in the dirt. But it's Argentina who take the spoils this time, and the world champions are beaten for the first time in 15 months. Final score then here in Düsseldorf: Germany 2, Argentina 4, as we throw it back to Des Kelly.
Thanks, Ian. What a match. Germany 2, Argentina 4. Didn't just wreck the party, they stole the beers, smashed the stereo and stamped on the cake as well. We'll bring you all the analysis in a moment. Loads more great football from across the continent to look forward to here on BT Sport on Friday the 12th of September. Leverkusen take on Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. On Saturday the 13th of September, Serie A action. Juventus entertaining Udinese. BT Sport 1, 7:30 p.m. Sunday the 14th of September, high-flying Bordeaux travel to Gicom in Ligue 1. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. BT Sport 2. After the break, get Stefan Freund, Ed Mannion's thoughts on tonight's game. Germany 2, Argentina 4. We'll be right back. Party in Düsseldorf. It's not the Germans who are celebrating. Germany 2, Argentina 4, the rematch of the World Cup final. Very different outcome, gentlemen. It was a thrilling game. That's the first thing to say. That's what proper friendly should be like.
Yeah, really enjoyable to watch. A lot of chances, 21 goal-scoring opportunities overall, so that was really exciting.
Complete and utter party poopers, Argentina. The first half, they were superb.
I thought it was a great start to Martino's reign. He said all he wanted to do, didn't care about the result. He just wanted to control the game.
We'll say they don't care about the result.
Yeah, well, he says he wants to go for it. He just says he wants to be protagonist in the game, want to keep the ball. I thought they were excellent, absolutely excellent. And 4-0 up, they kind of let it off a little bit.
You could see the difference, especially in the first half. They tried to play from the back. They did a few individual mistakes that normally Mario Gomez can score easy.
We'll get on to the German chances. Should we have a look at all the goals? Let's start with Agüero's.
That first one.
Fantastic performance by Argentina tonight. Not least this guy out on the wing.
See, here I'm thinking,
this is Di Maria.
Curl it in, but outside of the boot instead. It's an exquisite pass, ludicrous pass.
Manchester United fans watching this game, Stefan, are thinking, I think he's worth the money suddenly.
Exactly, what a signing. But it's only possible to play with that curl of the ball. So was the goalkeeper, then it's easy to catch the ball.
That is an exquisite skill. As Darky said in his commentary, he's of the top 5 leagues in Europe, he's got most assists.
He is very one-footed, but there it doesn't seem to matter, does it? I mean, if you can do that with the outside of the left, you don't need your right foot.
Agüero as well. He's not been getting the minutes in the City shirt, but he's still getting the goals. He looked really hungry tonight.
Exactly, and all 4 players, they didn't play the final. Fernández, Lamela, Di Maria, Agüero.
Are you saying
the difference
that the World Cup would have been Argentina's?
No, I'm not saying that, but they play really well today, and that gives the coach more opportunities in the future.
Absolutely. Should we have a look at... This is a man close to your heart. Before the match, you were telling me that Lamela is on fire. And look what
Exactly.
happened. Talk us through.
Yeah, and if you see, again over Germany's left side, great pass from Zabaleta, and what a cross again from Di Maria. But to finish that cross with that skill, world class, Érik.
That is a sumptuous side-footed volley. I mean, it's perfectly timed, isn't
You
it?
can use words like sumptuous when they do that. That's nice. You were saying earlier on that Lamela obviously had a bit of a nightmare season at Spurs. It takes a while, doesn't it, to get into the physicality and the pace of the Premier League. You had upheavals at management level at Spurs. Is he coming through that now?
Exactly, and the pressure for him in the first season, it cost a lot of money. So that's why it was difficult for him to come into the first 11 as young, or was young,
Does a
or is
player
still
think
young.
about that? The money, the price tag?
But it's difficult for a young player, and then comes on top the physicality of the Premiership, and of course the pace of the Premiership. If you play in Italy, it's far easier to play 90 minutes than in England.
I think it's a physical issue. I mean, for me, I'm not sold on the pressure thing. I think he was under immense pressure at River Plate. He was 18 years old. He was the centre of their team, historic, huge team on the continent. They got relegated with him as the centre of their squad, and he was by far the best player they had. He was under a lot of pressure. He dealt with that then. I think coming into Spurs, the problem is just he was never fit last year. He had serious kind of injury issues, and then the language barrier, coming to London, all of these things, after such a great season in Serie A
It's a confidence issue as well. If the coach believes in you, he's obviously the main man at River Plate.
But he played a few games in the beginning of the last season and played well in European Cup games. But overall, then came the injury over Christmas, and later he didn't play any game. Then we changed the coach, so that was difficult for him to adapt to the Premiership plus the whole situation at Spurs. But now you can see he's enjoying his game. So he has the confidence now to go one against one, and his finish is different class, and you could see it against QPR.
Germans weren't enjoying it. The Germans weren't enjoying it at all. 3-0 down, the party's turning into an absolute disaster. Again, Di Maria crossed, beautiful free kick in fact. And you wouldn't see Germany get out-muscled in the penalty area, not if Mertesacker was there.
Yeah, but the back four, we spoke about the young back four before the game, and that's one of the points too. So Ginter is too late again, and the first goal was a communication problem in between Gross-Kreutz and Ginter, and Érik Dome has a nightmare of a game
Fernández scores the goal
because Di Maria wasn't unstoppable.
Fernández scores the goal. 7 Premier League starting in that Argentina lineup, and they're very effective looking.
And he's the newest of it. I mean, Premier League fans won't have seen him much at Swansea yet, but he's a very robust defender. He's a very physical defender. He's rugged. These sort of things there, he's just outmuscled Ginter completely. Ginter's mistimed his jump. He's got in there fine. He's going to deal fine with the physicality of the Premier League. He's not the best passing centre-back, perhaps. Like Demichelis is far better at coming out with the ball, even though he made a couple of mistakes today. And I think Fernández there, you've seen his physicality. He's a rugged player, and I thought he did quite well. Very brave.
Shall we look at the fourth? It's the man himself, of course. Di Maria, having set up 3 goals, decided to score 1 himself. He's just running right.
Again over German's left side, and what a finish. I think that's the individual class, what everyone loves to see, and that's why Man United signed him for so much money.
Textbook dink.
Do you know, Érik Dome, I felt sorry for him.
Yeah, me too. It was the second game today. No, we have to be honest.
Wanted to get a big hook and just bring him off the pitch, just to spare him from further punishment.
No, but Germany had no other options on the bench. Rüdiger was a second game too today, and it's difficult for that young back four against Agüero, Lamela, and Di Maria. And not to apologise, but that's a part for young players.
£100 million
and they will grow. Yeah, and they will grow.
But the Germany with the experienced players, this is an experiment that's not quite worked for them, has it? Because it's leaving big space for those players to run into.
If you know that you still have Boateng, Hummels, of course Mertesacker is a big loss in the future now because he's not playing anymore. And Lahm, what a right or left back he is for the team. So I'm not surprised that we struggle a little bit in the defence today.
Well, I think the communication wasn't there. You saw in the second goal, Durham is about 20-30 yards from his nearest centre-back, and it happens again. Di Maria slides in behind him. Ginter, for the goal, is just caught probably about 1 or 2 yards, but obviously at a set piece, that is fatal. And it's just pure inexperience. We said before, it was an experience. They're up against Lamela, 30 million, Agüero, 35 million, Di Maria, whatever million it was, 50,
59.7
million pounds.
Just under 60. Got a bargain. Got under 60 million.
£100 million plus worth of talent up front.
That's terrible maths, Ed, by the way.
No wonder Durham, I'm here for the English. No wonder Durham, who essentially was a winger, converted to a left back as well, let's remember, struggled a little bit.
Yeah, and one thing we have to say, if you defend high, and the Germans are defending high with an unexperienced back four, is always difficult against strikers with pace. You could see that today, and
well, we were wrapping it up, weren't we? The bunting was coming down, the beer's cold, stale, flat, warm. But a couple of goals back for the Germans. Have a look at the first one, Andre Schürrle. Bit of a... Well,
Yeah,
what's
again-
the Spanish, you're here, Ed, you're our South American football expert. What's Spanish for butterfingers?
Oh, that is... This is Romero's form from pre-World Cup. Everyone going into the World Cup thought he was the weak link for Argentina, him and Rojo. I thought Rojo was poor today. Romero was again. They both had good World Cups, actually, so kind of silenced a lot of their critics. Aside from these goals, he had a pretty poor game. He didn't catch a thing all day. Stefan was noting it during the game. He's punching a lot. That was just a slip. In the second goal, the same happens again. I think Martino, from what I understand, is already looking at the next generation of goalkeepers, one called Geronimo Ruggi, who's coming through, and he could replace him. Not a good start today.
And a second goal, just to put a bit of respectability on the scoreline. Goetze scores.
Yeah, and he scored again.
Reflected in, actually. It's probably an own goal, as the commentary said.
But the assist from Lukas Podolski was really important, you know. He brings the ball back from the byline. You can see it now. And difficult to save that one. And Götze is lucky with a deflected shot in that point. But Germany created 12 chances overall, so that they deserve to score today 1, 2, or maybe 3 goals. I have to say that.
Only after Argentina had switched off. Then.
They deserve them. We're going to look at those German chances, and we're going to also pay a little tribute to Di Maria as well. Stay with us, more analysis. Germany against Argentina. Right back in just a moment.